The drum speaks. Through the spirit of the African drum, and in the ancient African tradition of our forefathers and foremothers, we look to the heavens and we respectfully ask our ancestors to shine down upon us and give us permission to begin today's program celebrating Juneteenth, 1865. The water represents life, the fluidity and resilience of the human spirit as life flows through Father Time and space. The plant represents Mother Earth, the bearer, the womb, and the nurturer of life. This beloved third planet is home of humanity and the majesty of God's creation, His divinity, and intelligent design. So, in the tradition of our African ancestors, we pour libations to recognize these truths as self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that the past, the present, and the future are connected by one God and one love. For in the word liberation itself, there is the word libation, the nomo.
Ashe.
We call upon the ancestors far and near, mothers of our mothers and fathers of our fathers, to give us strength and courage and to remind us of their love and their sacrifice, so that we might continue the struggle for human dignity, liberation, and freedom. For they knew the human spirit was born to be free. So we look to the heavens for a reminder of their shining light and guiding example of love, wisdom, compassion, and courage for all humanity. As we pour libation, the collective response is Ashe, which means it is done. You are invited to participate with us in the ancient African tradition of call and response and say Ashe. First, in honor of the Creator, we pour libation. We recognize the omnipotence of the Creator of all things and all life, and we honor His covenant with us, His people, and all His creations, the birds and the animals, the plants and the trees, the blue sky and the rain, the sun and the moon, Mother Earth itself, and we the people who are blessed to call it home. We pour libation.
Ashe.
And let the people say Ashe. In the honor and memory of our ancestors, we pour libations for those who were the first of God's creations, the original man and the original woman, birthed in the motherland Africa, and the great civilizations they created and innovated that laid the foundation for the rest of human history, culture, and discovery. And to those who were destined to lead, to guide, and to rule for thousands of years. We pour libation for those like warrior queen Hatshepsut, for the great pharaoh Akhenaten, for beautiful and regal queen Nefertiti, for Pharaoh Ramses II, for Hannibal of Carthage, King Mansa Musa, and the brilliant scholar Imhotep, for regal queen Nzinga and warrior queen Amina, for the boy king Tutankhamun and the warrior king Shaka Zulu, for the great civilizations of Songhai and Mali and Egypt and Nubia, Ethiopia and Benin, just a few ancient examples and reminders of the glorious spirit of humanity that still resides in us today. In their memory, in their honor, we pour libation. And the people say, Ashe.
Ashe.
We pour libations for those who crossed the Middle Passage and came to America and went throughout the diaspora and Caribbean. We came to foreign lands in bondage, the worst, evil, vile, ungodly, and insidious colonization and slavery in human history. We must never forget the past, the hardships, the struggles, the resurrection, the love, and the victories as we celebrate Juneteenth.
Ashe.
For our ancestors who crossed the Middle Passage, for those who would jump from slave ships rather than to live in bondage, we pour libation.
Ashe.
For our ancestors who crossed the Middle Passage, for those who were persecuted and enslaved but continue to fight, to survive, to thrive, to pray, to hope, and to work for a better future against all odds, we pour libation. And for those who were shot, lynched, and killed for righteous insurrection on slave ships and on the plantation,
Ashe.
we pour libation. We pour libations for those like Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, and Marcus Garvey. Those whose love, leadership, and sacrifice are acknowledged and applauded in human history for making their mark and striking a blow against slavery and oppression, and for liberation and freedom.
Ashe.
We pour libations for our more recent ancestors, those like Rosa Parks,
Ashe.
Malcolm X, Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth, Fannie Lou Hamer, Muhammad Ali, Huey Newton, Stokely Carmichael, and Dr. Martin Luther King. Those who led the civil rights movement and those who led the Black Power movement, both working hand in glove for Pan-African and African-American liberation and freedom.
Ashe.
We pour libations in memory of the casualties of racial and criminal injustice and police brutality. For those like Emmett Till, Abner Louima, Sean Bell, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Walter Scott, Freddie Gray, Philando Castile, Tamir Rice, Timothy Thomas, Sandra Bland, Sam Du Bois, Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and so many others. May they rest in peace.
Ashe.
We pour libations. We pour libation for those in our own beloved families, for those ancestors who have gone on, and to those elders, those mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers, all precious souls who are still here, still loving, still educating, still praying, and still leading by example with wisdom, dignity, and grace. Call their names, Evoke their names and remember them. Thank them, appreciate them, honor them. We pour libation for them.
Ashe.
And finally, we pour libation for our collective future, our beloved progeny, our sons and daughters, and the sons of our sons and the daughters of our daughters, on the continent, in America, and throughout the diaspora. Our faith is bigger than our fears. Our love is strong and everlasting. And our hope for the next 1,000 years rises higher than the struggles of the past 400. Today, we celebrate June-Teenth.
Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe.